Hi everyone, this is Jacqueline from Key Rice Studios and welcome to today's author celebration for the Million Dollar Coaches, Mindset, Methods, and Mastery, a powerful anthology created for coaches, consultants, and thought leaders who are ready to rise above the noise and lead at the highest level. This book is more than a guide. It's a blueprint for building authority, scaling impact, and creating a lasting legacy. Inside these pages, elite coaches pull back the curtain on the mindset shifts, proven methods, and mastery required to create a $1 million result in business and in transformation. Today, we celebrate the voices, wisdom, and leadership of authors who make this vision a reality. Hello, coaches. Welcome to
Hello.
the show.
Hi.
Awesome. Well, I'm so excited to have you here because we are making a very big impact on this particular book. Now, to start us off, why don't you introduce yourself for people who have not heard or doesn't know you yet? Let us know your coaching journey and what does a $1 million coach truly mean to you? Maybe we can start with Erica.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be a part of this journey. My name is Erica Elliott. I'm a brain code strategist, transformational speaker. I am the founder of Warrior Heart Healing Hearts. And I've been a counselor for over 30 years. And on the sides, always did a little coaching here and there, consulting, speaking. And after a health crash, really moved into what do I want the rest of my life to look like? If I could start all over again and say, money, no object, health, no object, wherever I live, no object, and nothing in the way, what would I want to do? Where would I want to live? When I think about making money, like what do I want that to look like where my health stays intact too? And so I always say, what kind of millionaire do you want to be? So when I was looking at this, it was really more into that idea of in the last several years, God has just led me into speaking more, writing more, and going more into coaching and moving out of counseling. And I think I've always been more of a coach than a counselor. People tell me that all the time, that when they see me, they're like, I'm usually 4 to 6 sessions. A lot of them move along the way and we're done because my goal is to get you living life and living it abundantly, not keeping you stuck in trauma of the past. So that's a little bit of my journey and what I encourage people in moving into the coaching side of life.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Erica. Megan?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Megan Dirks. I am a board certified coach, have been for over 5 years. Absolutely love the industry. Have also seen a lot of good and bad in the industry as well. And really, that's what pulled me to jump in on this book is to speak a little to some of the toxic positivity, some of the guru culture, some of the bad rap coaching gets, and frankly, sometimes for valid reasons. So, really wanting to debunk that and look into the actual integrity and value of a coach versus everybody that can go pick up a certification for $7 and call themselves a coach 2 days later. So, really here for the deep inner work and the sequencing and the tools that we all have at our disposal.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Megan. And let's go to Amy.
Hi, I'm Amy Sanders, and I'm the creator and owner of the Unblocked Method, which is just all about helping women get unblocked. And I love like all of the Sanders, everyone that's been part of this collaboration. We all have like different takes, but our mission is the same, right? We want to create waves and we want to create impact and show people what's possible. So I always like to be an example of what's possible. I jumped on this book because I know both sides as far as being a total broke single mom that has nothing and is making deals with my landlord and is like praying to like ends meet, can't take my kids to McDonald's. And when I do, I like make them share a Happy Meal for 3 kids versus living really abundantly. Completely changed my life. I do live a multi-million dollar lifestyle, and being able to say that, it's like the difference is just how you show up for yourself and the identity that you decide to live into. Because everyone, and in my mind, everyone are multi-million-dollar people. Everyone is. There's no limit to what you can do except for yourself, what you decide that you can do. So I had to rise above, which I know a lot of people are fighters like me and have had that same journey or something similar. But I love to show women that guess what, you can. And so, excuse me, I ran today. Every time I run, I have like stuff coming up for like the whole rest of the day. So my chapter is all about the energetics that I teach, a lot of the principles that I teach about, but also simple strategies. So I talk about like focusing in on what I call the power of one, which is really defining what it is that you're going to do and keeping it simple, because simplicity scales. And so that is essentially what my chapter is about, is combining these two so that you can live that $1 million lifestyle, and that, you're a coach, guess what? You can be a $1 million coach. Even if the money doesn't show that yet, you still can be a $1 million coach. One last thing I'll say that kind of made me go when Megan was talking was that my stepdaughter, who's amazing, she's like on this journey that has just been incredible to watch. She just told me last week that she found a certification that's a few dollars that she's going to enter this space. In my head, I'm like, I love her, and I hope girl, there's a lot more to coaching. So these methods in this book are perfect for that person that maybe wants what the cert looks like, but also the depth that can show you how to become that amazing coach.
And that's true. I believe that, there's so many offers out there, but you have to look for the one with depth, and I think what makes this book great is that it not only gives your readers the value of how to be a $1 million coach, but it comes along with your own personal journey that made you to where you are right now. And I wonder if you could share how your personal journey shaped the insights that you shared in this book.
I'll start. Mine really in this particular book came from was soaring in career and doing great in life, and then a health crash that really took me on a different journey of going, what is abundance? And also realizing that my tie to money had a lot of workaholism tied to it. So, and also scarcity in that, like I have to work really hard to be able to obtain these kinds of things. And so then when my health crashed, it was like, whoa, wait a minute, like who am I if I don't have this ability to work hard and make money? And so really tuning in and letting God really guide me through, what does abundance really mean? What does that look like? And is that true that I have to work an 80 or 120 hour week in order to make great money and also provide great service? So my chapter, I talk a lot about rewiring some of the money ideas when I went through that with God and going, oh, okay, well, maybe my idea of money really got skewed, and maybe scarcity was in there, even though I didn't think it was, because I was making lots of money before. So I think it's important to look at, where do you want to be? I love what Amy said. I say that all the time, is if you don't have an end in mind of what you want it to look like, how do you know that you're going to get there? It's like, going down the road and saying, I'm going to go to California and I'm going to go to the left, but actually going to the left would go to Florida. So, I'm not going to get to California in that direction. So you need some type of map and idea of what that's going to look like. And so for me, it was really reassessing my whole life and then writing that out, because I want other people to know. I agree with Amy that anyone can make $1 million. What do you want to do with that? How do you want to do that?
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much. Very insightful, Erica. Thank you so much, Dr. Frantonia, for joining us today. And we were just talking about the personal journey that have shaped you to help you to, write the insights that you've shared in this book. Can you share us this particular journey that you've gone through?
Wow. Yeah. So in my chapter, I talk a whole lot about the identity and identity shifts, who you have to become in order to hold $1 million. The person that you were in your life, in your identity, in your business, in your being, in your self-concept that created, let's say, your first $1,000, your first $100,000 will not take you to $1 million. And in the 25 years I've been in the coaching space, one of the things that I have recognized is that there are a lot of business owners and coaches who are diligently working on the external parts of growing and building a business. And you can have all the funnels, all the strategies, all of the business plans, all of the profit plans you want in the world. If you don't work on the internal person, who you must be, who you must become, what you must heal, the unconscious parts of yourself that are standing in the way of you reaching that next level of success, you may be able to reach it through hustle, but hustle won't hold it. Hustle won't help you sustain it. And so I spoke a whole lot about my own transition, my own journey. I talked a lot about at a certain point in my business, I was successful, but I just didn't want to do it that way anymore, and how I had to make the powerful decision to burn it all down. And to be willing to do that, I am always very transparent with my community, with my clients and my students. And so I very transparently shared that with them and allowed them to watch me work as I rebuilt. And I am in a season of that right now. I think I want to say this, particularly most importantly to women. Women are cyclical beings. And who I was in my maiden phase is not the same as who I am now as I move into the phase of matriarch. And so attempting to hold the business and the energetic and the hustle and the ways that I was able to show up in abundance and share my time and my gift and all of my energy in a former stage of my life just doesn't work now. And it is okay for you to admit that. It is okay for you to say it's time for me to transition. And it is okay for you to reach out and ask for support as you move through that transition. So those were the things that really helped me, being really honest with myself about where I am in my life, in the season of my life, and making sure that I built a business that honors that.
That's awesome. I love when you mentioned that hustle may take you there, but it will not sustain you.
No.
And I think that, that's what happens when we start seeing leaders, coaches that are burning out. They were great, but they get to a point where I can't do this anymore. What do you think? What is one great habit do you think that these coaches should have or start doing to continue to scale but not get to the burnout stage? I would like to share.
Okay, let me see if I understand your question. You're asking the coaches who don't burn out, who are able to keep going with the habits they have.
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking?
One habit you can share.
Okay. I don't know if it's a habit or if it's more of a state of being. I would say it's more of almost a state of being that she fully, completely trusts herself, her decisions, her capabilities, her team. And so that self-trust exudes externally. And when you have that self-trust, you're able to give so much more. Now, when it comes to habits, I tell you right now, I got a million awesome habits every single morning. Like, I love my schedule. I love my habits. I love how I pour into myself. But for me and my success, when I feel like I am expanding more, I feel like I'm growing more, I'm able to touch more people, and it just feels like I'm flow. It's because I really am practicing from a very deep place of self-trust, commitment, honor, integrity, those traits, which are traits. Anyway, that's what I have to say about that. I'm curious what other people say.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amy. I love that you mentioned self-trust. Yeah. Don't doubt yourself. I'm so sorry. Yes, Megan.
No worries. I'd love to jump in and just say, yeah, I think Dr. Frantonia hit on something really important there, where even among coaches, like, we're so excited to help other people do the inner work. So many, and it's made me so sad. So many of my peers that I started out with, or good friends that were seriously good coaches, because you can see coaches come and go, and then sometimes you can see someone doing laser coaching or a hot seat, and you know they're just kind of a notch extra and they've got it. And I've seen so many of them fall out of the industry, and it's usually because they are doing same thing, all the outer work, and they've stopped doing their own inner work. They love taking other people through it, but they've checked out on doing it for themselves. And for me, early in, like year 1 or year 2 for me, I had a one-off mentor that I had literally one call with, and they always reiterated, you can always take a client only as far as you've taken yourself. So if you stop, their growth is going to stop. And I've always found that to be true as well. Every coach needs a coach. So that is the main thing I've seen that have taken so many great healers out of the industry.
If I can jump in here, one of the things that so I want to first say this, Jacqueline, it's a little bit hard to hear you. So I don't know if, and I put it in the chat, I don't know if you can adjust that, but based on what I was able to glean from your question, I am always asking, when someone comes to me for a strategy session or in the beginning, what was the catalyst to you wanting to start your business or to be a coach? Like, why do you want to be a coach? And if every aspect of their answer is to help others, for me, that is a red flag. Okay. I have this philosophy that you fill your cup until it overflows into your saucer. I serve no one from my cup. I serve from the overflow. And so when I encounter coaches or people who started their business so that they can help or rescue others, and they have not yet done that for themselves, whatever it is they're wanting to help other people do, help women balance their lives, help women find their purpose, help women, and they have not yet done that for themselves, it's a red flag for me. And it is an indication to me that quite often they are building, what I call an FU business. It's a business built based on them trying to prove somebody else wrong. I want to prove you were the husband that left and said, you'll never be anything without me, right? The critical parent that said, you'll never amount to anything. The teacher in the 3rd grade that told them, and we don't realize that we carry those subconscious wounds with us. And if we don't do the inner work to consistently be uprooting and healing those things, it carries over into our business, up to and including being the catalyst or the reason that a lot of people want to start, particularly coaching, helping, healing businesses. And so those things, the businesses that are built on that foundation, are typically the ones that cause the massive amounts of burnout that result in things like autoimmune disorders. They result in, stress in all of our interpersonal relationships up close, because we're trying to rescue the world out there instead of building the world in here. And so to avoid burnout for those people, it is be very clear why you have either started the business or why you're continuing in the business. And the moment that you recognize that there's some misalignment, again, there's nothing wrong with reinventing or pivoting, rebranding, or realigning yourself with what is true and right for you.
That's wonderful. I love that. I love that you have to share from your overflow, not from your own. That's wonderful. On that particular note, to close us off here, who do you think should read this book first and why?
Sure.
I think everyone needs to read this book.
Oh, I didn't hear what she said.
I think that this book can reach the masses. So even I know that it's the $1 Million Coach, so we're going to help a lot of coaches, but all the methods that are in here and the love and the heart, everything that's been poured into this book, it doesn't matter what you're doing in your life or what kind of business you're in, or maybe you're an employee of a company, it's going to give you strategies and it's going to give you insight that will benefit your life.
Mm-hmm. Can I just piggyback a little bit on what Dr. Frantonio said earlier about knowing your niche? So I've been a brain health certified coach from Dr. Amen for years, even while I was a counselor. And the one thing that I hear people saying all the time is they want to be a coach so they can quit living the 9 to 5. And so I agree with Dr. Frantonio that a lot of times people are so stuck on thinking that this is going to get them in that place. But the truth is it's not. The truth is this book, though, will give you tools to help you align with going in and doing that deep work and also self-care. And I will say, I was doing a study on men and millionaires, and one of the things that they do is 3 hours a day of self-care. How many women do 3 hours a day of self-care? What's that millionaire mindset? Now, a lot of people have learned that who went from burnout or have learned some of these tools. So I agree with Amy that this book can help anybody in any industry that you're in so that you can learn what is my true passion. Stay in your passion. It might be a 9 to 5. I worked with lots of people who started jobs and they entrepreneur, their own business, and then close the doors because that really, they didn't know how to do their schedules. And that was in the counseling side of life and going, well, that's, you need a coach over here for this side. So, you don't have to be all things. Figure out what it is that you want to do and then figure out how to use these kinds of tools in that particular business field.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, because let's be clear on that too. There's a lot of people that do want to do that hop from the 9 to 5 and then get a very harsh realization they start working 9 to 9 instead for like the first 0 to 2 years maybe or longer. So for me, the people I want to pick up these books are friends, past clients, people I know, and there's so many more out there that still come to me and they're like, where are the clients? Where are the people? And I hear so much of that. Like they think they're running something, but they've only done like a surface level of the outer work, none of the inner work. They have all these amazing skill sets and passions and tools that are valuable to share, and they can't bridge it to get the clients. So my hope is that all of the mindset and money and abundance and strategies and all the beautiful things that were a cocktail from all of us that went into this book gets to some of those people and they start to understand not just chasing the, become a 6-figure coach and then you hit that and become a multi-6-figure coach. Now be a 7-figure, an 8-figure. It's not even about that to me. If you are leaving a job you hate, that pays you 50 grand a year and you can come do coaching that you love in a sustainable way for 50 grand a year, that's a win for a lot of people. And I think there is, a pressure in the industry to earn more. And part of this is also acknowledging that millionaire part does include wealth and health and everything else that brings you joy, which might not be cold hard dollars and just a lifestyle upgrade for you. So that is who I hope gets this book.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
I would say anyone who has felt any kind of nudge toward entrepreneurship, any type of nudge toward a service-based business, and of course, anyone who's felt a nudge toward coaching, regardless of what stage you're in, you could still be just thinking about it. You could be, you've dipped your toe and you're what I call an emerging entrepreneur. You could be someone who is successful and has reached your first $250,000 in the year. You could be already a millionaire coach. And and you've reached the point of burnout. So there's something, as Megan said, this is a cocktail of wisdom and experience. There's something in this book for everyone. There's something that helps you navigate how to, manage building a business while growing a family, how to navigate building a business while dealing with health issues. There are strategies on how to help you scale so that you can get out of, this war between high ticket and low ticket. I teach a philosophy called all ticket. I don't understand the point of leaving any of the money on the table when I can serve everyone with the wisdom that I have and meet them where they are. Their level of entrepreneurship, their ability to invest at the level that they are capable of at this time, as well as their ability to invest their energy and attention. Right? There's so much coming at us. The other day, I intentionally turned off everything because I started feeling overwhelmed. There's so many beeping and buzzing and this notification and this alarm and this thing going on and Siri jumping in your conversation when you're not even talking to her, right? And so there's something in this book to help you at every stage and every phase of entrepreneurship, which also includes taking good care of yourself.
That's awesome. Well, what an incredible and very insightful conversation with these wonderful coaches. The $1 Million Coaches is already making waves, as we already predicted, as an Amazon bestseller across 13 categories, including bestseller in Kindle Store, top new releases in women in business, entrepreneurship, leadership and motivation, and business management, and so much more. This success really reflects the power, credibility, in the real world impact that you coaches, all the coaches behind this particular book, are really making such an impact. So congratulations to every author who contributed to this expertise and heart to this anthology. And to everyone watching, if you're ready to elevate your influence and step into the next level of leadership, the $1 Million Coaches Mindset, Methods, and Mastery is now available on Amazon. Your next level truly starts here. So go ahead, grab that copy. Thanks again, everyone. Have a nice day.
Thanks, everyone.
Blessing.